Hey guys, welcome back here. We are in a club called Bari. I think the most one of you that have played Football Manager for over times in the 90s, especially in the 2000s, know Bari from the club that Casano came from, Nicola Ventola, Igor Protti. So if you have played the old it was Championship Manager, I think at that time, you know Bari very well, or if you have just watched Serie A, you know it very well. The stadium of Bari is a club that, for example, here is 58,000, it's almost 60,000, and they are in the League C, that is the third division in Italy, so it will be like League 1 in England. So, for example, for many is that it's a similar thing as Sunderland, but the difference here is that you don't have the ability to play with you don't have the ability to, you don't have the TV series for one thing. You don't have the TV series of the Sunderland to get you motivated to do this game, but the same thing is a big club, big history. They were sent down to Serie D because of bankruptcy. Then the Napoli owner bought the club. So the owner is the same owner of, I think, is from Napoli. You have a stadium that is 60,000. I think that's even bigger than that you have in Sunderland. But then you don't have the cash flow you have in Sunderland. But the cash flow is not that bad. The difference is if you get Bari into Serie A, you will not get that bunch of money. But again, the other Italian clubs don't have that bunch of money either. So you are not competing against something impossible. If you go back to the club info here, guys, if you want to take this club or not, this is one of the coolest games saves I had first season. They have a good finance, as you can see here, the average training facilities, so this is something you have to work with, and the youth facilities is average. It was not a lot of good things that came from the youth squad. We're just going to go through the squad, guys. I'm not going through every player, I hope not. But the thing here, for example, you can see from this club is if you want to take them up, you should be able to go up at the first season. The problem in Italy is that you have three league. For example, League 1 you have in England is one, so every team is there. Here is 3 leagues. That is League C. So you have League C A, League C B, League C C. We are in the C, so it's 60 clubs that play in that division, and only the first place get direct promotion. The other one will go into a playoff, and you can go further up from there. And the other thing here is that you are not playing in the Italian Cup. So either you are playing a Tier 3, you are not playing Italian Cup. And so Italian Cup is, I think, is only for Serie A and Serie B. And I understand that, because if you're going to play with 60 more clubs, it's going to take a long time. So to make... so instead of that cup, the Serie C teams here, I think the teams, they have one cup for themselves. And you can get some money there. It's very little money, but it's money. We went out from there in the quarterfinals. It's called Coppa Lega Pro. No, this is the Super Cup. No, it was right. Yes, it was this one. Coppa Italia Lega Prego. So you're placed with two other clubs, 3 clubs. The first place goes on, and you win it, and you can go further and further forward. We went out in the quarterfinals, I think. So the stadium here, guys, as you can see, it was almost 60,000 stadium. We filled it out with 19,000. That was the most we had. It was against Regina. In this division, you play with Bari. I think this is the hardest one of the oldest Serie C teams. You're predicted to come to second place when you start the game. There are some good teams here. You have some old teams, like, for example, remember the name of Catania. You have clubs such as Regina, and Ternana is a really good team here. And Teramo was a solid team through all season. The surprise for me was Cavase here. Great 3 front players. So that also can be a cool team to manage. You have Miguel Maza, he got injured, and I bought the other wing here. So yeah, the thing in Italian football to remember, guys, when you play there, is that the league here, we're gonna go to the tactic now. I'm gonna show you that one. The league is not that much. There's not many pacey strikers. So if you defend wide, you do smart. You can smart by defending wide. So this is a new type of defensive. This system I played was possession football, but because to defend myself, I wanted to keep the ball to defend myself. How did we do it in the league, guys? We played in the league. We came first place. 9 points to clear. When you win the series, you also get a Super Cup in a way. So all 3 clubs that win each their respective leagues they play in a tournament that was here, a Super Cup, C Super Cup, to announce who is the winner. So it's like states. For example, you have 3 states, everyone play, the winners meet each other, and we defeated this team 2-0 and played 2-2 against this team. You get no money for winning it, but then you are the champion of the 3rd division. And we are promoted to Serie B at this point. The goal average, we can go here again, sorry. At the stage league table, as you can see it here, we are the champions, winning a lot of games, but yeah, it's difficult to get direct promotion. As you can see here, goal 4 is 60 goals, so we were not the team that scored the most goals. Teramo was the team that scored the most goals, as well as I think Catanzaro, isn't it? Yeah, Catanzaro also scored more than us. But they conceded only 17 goals. I think that's incredibly well in 38 games. So going to a squad, going to a tactic, what we play? We play with a tactic called Bari, as I saved it. We played naturally as a positive. We went here to took the... We have... the thing here is that we attack with these players, and these players are in support. So this is wave number 1, and these people are these players are supporting it. And by keeping the ball a lot in the team, we will even get Sifiani here. That is Barrera should play there, like this, and Costa up forward in the field. And you get these players also. But this is maybe the best player in the league, in my opinion. So you're gonna come and see him later on. Okay, in possession, guys. When we have the ball, we keep it fairly wide, but we try to go into the middle here. Even though we play with a winger, these players will get inside here. Most of Italian teams in this division play against you very narrow. So I like to get more attacking from the front 3 here. Get them to get some through runs from this side, and get these support players to pass it in to the space there and get 1 or 2s here. It's not much counter-attacking goals to get. So we play very wide to open up a little bit so we can attack through the middle here. So the ball goes through the middle, but we stand a little bit farther from each other. We work the ball into the box, because if not, you're going to get a lot of contracts against yourself, and at also the same time, I feel like we had a slow defensive line. So that was one of the reasons I had this one. So yes, some games we win just 1-0, 2-0, but that's the way we want to win the game. Passing directness is short. We don't pass it so far from each other to keep it in the ball, and that's mainly because you have good passers, but same time you have good passers, but you have not. This is Sere C, to remember that. But higher tempo. So that was a little bit special, because sometimes I went the lower tempo, but it worked better with higher tempo. It makes maybe not that much sense, because they are not that good. They shouldn't do that, but I don't know. It worked. And then they come to distribution, guys. When we want the counter press and counter attacking, distributed to the center backs or the full backs. And out of possession, we play a little bit pressing intensity, a little bit more urgent. And because we had the stamina, we had the physical play to do so, and also we wanted to keep the pressure on them. We play with the offside trap, because again we had a slow defensive line. I think that works well. If you have a slow defensive line, this can maybe save you. High defensive line, high line of engagement, standard width. Sometimes we went wider, but the thing is, we didn't defend wide, so the players didn't stand far away from each other. But I make some player instructions here. I like tackle. This player will tackle harder and mark specific position, and that is, he will mark the right back. So he will go automatically wide, and he will tackle hard. So these are the wide areas we want to set the pressure, and we know they are not good passers. So when they go through the middle, we need to keep the pressure here as well. So, and also the same here. Our wide players will tackle harder, mark specific person on the left side, and the same with the striker, guys. He will also tackle harder. You make them make mistakes. That's the part of the deal here. In the here we don't have nothing special here either, and the goalkeeper nothing special. So we're playing with Costa here. Is staying wider as this play is coming inside. He will, when he get the ball, you want Terani to attack himself. Terani is a good player. He's not a lone player. Something else too. The thing here with Bari, guys, is that you have You have a deal with Napoli, so they can send players to loan to you, so you can get free players almost. You go after and get free players on loan. So I will not go into more than tactic. You can just see some few of our players. Giovanni is maybe the best player in the league. You have in your team, as you can see, 766, 11 goals, 3 assists. This is not set piece goal, guys. This is goals he scored. Coming in support duty here, come and score goals. Maita was he was my second choice as a Mezzala, but it belongs to the club, so I used him when we were secured the title. And we have also Schavon, the same. Schavon, maybe. He's 32 years old. He played well. But you all have these players. This is in the team. Players are in the team when you're starting there. You also have Laribi in your team. He's on loan from Verona. This guy keeps a great... He's good on set pieces, but he's a good player. He's a good Mezzala. I use him as a Mezzala here normally. And yeah. So you have also that player. You also have... Luca Falbo, I bought him. You got Bianco in the team. He's a 32 years old. I didn't find a place for him. He's a good player, but I didn't find a place because it was almost no injuries to my team this season. So I kept Shawan here and went with him. I also had you have the legendary Valerio Di Cesar. He's very slow. He gets red card when he comes in. When I start in one game because he's slow, he gets out of position. But he's a good leader. He doesn't nag. He doesn't irritate himself by not playing. He's a good guy to have as a mentor. But next year, when his contract goes out, I cannot take a 38 years old player to Serie B. So he will be leaving the club, sadly. I think he's my captain even. Korsnili is a young player in the team. Yeah, we had him. You don't have many good youth players, to be honest. Not in the under 20 or under 18 team. So you should go out there and buy some free players. If you have known some second division players, for example in Scandinavia, you can maybe buy some young players from there as they are cheap. But you should take control of your junior teams, transfer and buy some good players. You have also this player over here called Mikhail Farlow. He's on loan from Napoli from the start of the game. He's also free, for example. You don't pay any wage for him. I will bring him in also next year if he accepts it. So we can also always go to Napoli. You can bring in 6 players from higher divisions. So, but the sad thing is they have already, I think, loaned 6 players when they start the game. He played very well. He's 22 years old, so you can really keep him into the team one more year. Plays well, young player. And you also got Urisi. I throw him from place to place. He comes also from loan from Napoli when you start the game. In my opinion, he was a pacey guy. Pace is a problem in Italy. No, you don't have no pace. But it's a messed up issue because I bought Rusotto, not Risotto, but Rusotto. He played in the Caves at the team we saw. He had 18 games, 12 assists. So I brought him in. He scored 4 goals, 5 assists. Yeah, he was not that dominant here that he was at the club, but maybe there's some tactical change. Berera plays for me as a right back. He's a very good right back guy. Provercelli is a very cool club guy. This team here have won the title more than I think many clubs. This is an old history club from Italy. I have to start a game with them too. Okay, I'm very weak for sleeping giants or old giants. I love those teams. Okay guys, let's go further. It's another things you can see here. You have you have also Silvio Fani here. He's 32 years old and start the game. He's valued when I start the game £500. I didn't use him. He was injured a long time in the game when I started the game, so I went for it. Bera here. Pinto is on loan from Fiorentina. I already extended his loan, so he will be here next year. Plays good. He's 21 years old, so he will also improve when you're here and play week in, week out. Okay pace, good jumping reach. So you need good jumping reach in Italy because the strikers you're playing against are not fast, but they are many target players, guys. Perotta is a player that is your own central defender. He's 26 years old and start the game. 25 years when start the game. He's not that good, so you maybe should borrow or buy a new player. Fratelli was a goalkeeper that helped Parma, I think, he was the main keeper for Parma when they went when they were promoted to Serie A with Parma, but he's not playing. He was the main goalkeeper then, but he only played 1 game in Serie A with Parma. Yeah, he's not that good goalkeeper. He's very old. He's 34 years old now. If you're gonna use him next year, you have a problem. I think the other goalkeeper, that is Marfel, is better next year maybe. So yeah, but I don't think none of them hold Serie B level. So you have to do something there. That was also one of the reasons I played this defensive system as I did. It's offensive in a way, but it's also defensive guy. Costa is a very good player. He's a left back. He's on loan too. He as well from Napoli. They are a farmer club, so we're helping them. Again, you have the same owner, so his positioning is good. Again, defensively he's playing very good. So he reads the game well. His tackling is well, and his pace is okay. So good player to have in the team. And you have the legendary Mikhail Antonacci, 34 years when he start. His physical aspect of the game is just going straight down when you start with him in the game. He moves into the channel, he plays the shot, so that gives you a good portion of the way to score goals. But again, based on his pace is not that good. Even though you have the ball a lot of times, he has some problems coming in and crosses and running out from his marker. But his off the ball movement is very well, guys. His flair is good. His leadership is good. So he's a good guy to have in the team. His contract will go after the end of the season. I have extended his contract 1 year. I think this will be a good player even to have in the Serie B. I didn't score more than 15 goals and 6 assists. But our playing style also involves that he's not that much. When you have the ball much, he was more roaming out to the sides and making room for Rusotto and Tarini and Maita, or call it Laribi, that came out here. So if you're gonna go with this is a good game, guys. It's a good team to take control of, I think, and taking control of this team and bringing them up back to where they belong, Serie A. Maybe you can get them to Europe, but you need to make some new players coming to the team. For example, myself bought in Scribe when we started the game. He was 18 years old. Played, scored only 3 goals, but he's good off the ball, good finishing, good dribbling. That can maybe give something, and we have to maybe have some traits here. But anyway, I bought some young players that are in the second team. I also bought in Rusotto. You can buy players very cheaply, I think, 80k here, guys. You have a good transfer budget, I think, as around £105,000. So you can do good deal with those money you have there, guys. You should buy in some free players, free agents. Get your scouts to go out and find them, as well as, for example, go into the clubs, such as my thing here was if I didn't know this league that well, so I didn't went to the right place. If I knew it, I would go to Sameng right away, guys. They are not expected to do so well. They don't have that much money. As you can see, the balance is really below now. And buy the players, because they both has the Rosotto, as you saw. I bought in the team. You have Maza here. He's a great player. Not a great player, but he will help you. And they're cheap players, Like, for example, see Maza here. You can get him for £50,000. It's nothing. £15,000, guys. And you also have Germaniala here. Good physical player, aggressive player. He's old a little bit. Scores 12 goals. Okay player, but they're cheap players, for example. And you have also this young boy here, Montaperto. I think he's coming in. He wasn't there. He cannot be. I have to seen him before. Anyway, guys, this is a cool game. Italy, and the good thing here is your players don't get really. You should go with big database if you go in here, but your players will not be that tired. For example, like you have it in England, that they're playing 40 games in the League 2. I played with Sunderland. Sunderland had its own charm, based on that you have seen the movie and or the serial, for example, Netflix, and you're really pumped in when you go in there. And you like the Sunderland club, in a way. When you're playing with them, you want to get them up, and you know about the history more. Bari, you have to know. If you don't know, make always when you go down, guys, and watch take over old clubs that have been good many years ago, 10 years ago, 7 years ago. If you haven't seen them play, go back and check their history, and you will be a little bit motivated. But the league, the games in Italy, in Serie C here, was very fun. Not because I won many, because I have a lot of draw here as well. But it's fun league. You will not be tired. You have 3 cups you can play in. For example, you're playing with the League C, you're playing in the Cup C, and if you win the series, the league, you're also playing in the Super Cup. And then if you go up, you're playing in Serie B. But I would do something with your youth system here. I would do something with the youth system, because it's not well. And yes, you have a stadium, you're packing up around 12 to 13,000 people each game, but that will not be enough money in the long run. But remember, when Bari goes, I think they go to Serie B, they will maybe punch in 20,000 people every game. If you are, I don't know, I'm just saying a number here. If you get 20,000 people every game in Serie B, I think is a lot farther than half of the teams in Serie B. So it's a really cool club to go into, be a coach, guys. I liked it really well. So of those teams I had gone down, I liked very much Fredrikstad in Norway. I saw it here, the 2nd division in Norway, Fredrikstad. Yeah, there they are. I was them once too. I liked that one very well. Few games in Norway, but I liked Bari. I have to admit that I liked their style of play, and sometimes it's also that the players don't get injured and things like that. And I felt I kept my players fresh all season. It was a good game, both as a result, but also it was a cool game, guys. I thought it was much less money, but it's possible to bring this club back. And the good thing here with the finance, guys, is that when you go to debt and loans, you have no loans. So this is a team just waiting to get back, and yeah, it will be cool. For next season, they have given me £305,000, and I think this can be a long-term save for you if you want to play it. I liked it. Hope you like the video, guys. If you like it, please hit the like button, and if you want, you can subscribe to the page. Is it page? Yeah, I think it's page, called page. Yes, you can subscribe. It's something you can do, and I will be glad if you do it. Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend.